Aquarius, my water bear. Here's your reading, Aquarius, for September 2020. Before we hop into your reading here and what came through psychically for you during meditation here, I want to go ahead and discuss, Aquarius, a couple of astrological transits that we're experiencing collectively. But I want to go ahead and kind of individualize it a little bit here for you. This is especially relatable, or it's a pertinent to an Aquarius rising or Aquarius ascendant sign. Okay, so on September 2nd, we are having a full moon in Pisces, and this is in your second house. So your second house of finances, your second house of values, your second house of what do you place value in, and what does that say or speak about who you are. What happens, Aquarius, when you place value in certain things that are outside of yourself, and what happens when those things are no longer there? How does that shift for you? So this full moon in Pisces here is just going to be within that area of your life. On September 9th here, we are having Mars is going retrograde in Aries here, and this is in your third house. So your third house of communication, your third house of siblings, cousins, neighbors, also the third house of courage, your third house of like where you kind of travel in short distances. So for instance, like, what gas station do you go to? Excuse me. What gas station do you go to? What church or social gatherings do you go to? Those types of short distance travels, what market, etc. Also on the 12th, we are having Jupiter going direct in Capricorn. So this is in your 12th house. So the 12th house of the subconscious, the 12th house of deep spirituality, spiritual gnosis, your 12th house of the things that kind of happen behind the scenes that are maybe we aren't conscious of, or things that areas of your life that maybe people don't necessarily like to talk about, things that happen behind closed doors, let's say. On the 17th, you are having, or we're having a new moon in Virgo, which is in your 8th house. So your 8th house of shared resources, your 8th house of taxes, your 8th house of sharing, your 8th house of deep, interesting things coming to the surface to be viewed and to be transmuted and to be looked at and to be addressed, let's say here. And also too, lastly here on the 29th, we are having Saturn going direct in Capricorn. So once again, in your 12th house here, your 12th house of the subconscious, your 12th house of, the hidden realms, the other side behind the veil, deep spirituality. If you are an Aquarius ascendant, whenever Jupiter is in our 12th house, or it's transiting our 12th house, in our natal chart, this can be a time where like great and deep spiritual awakenings can happen. Dark nights of the soul can kind of come during this time, where the 12th house is where it's expanded with Jupiter, so that area of your life, the unknown, the mystery, tends to become expanded in a sense. We can also look at Aquarius rising here, that the 12th house is also the house of sort of here like secrets, but secrets more in the sense of like us finding out or coming to light about information that we never thought would benefit us, So in me saying that, Aquarius rising here, especially with Jupiter being in your 12th house, really deep spiritual awakenings can happen during this time. All right, Aquarius, what came through psychically here too, as well, is to go straight to God. Now, what I'm getting with this, Aquarius, and coming through psychically here is, whatever your belief system is, whoever you confide in regarding your belief system, your spiritual belief system, you're being advised, Aquarius, I feel, this month and from this point forward, in a sense, there's no need to have a mediator. There's no need to have a middleman, in a sense here. You are, and you embody Christ consciousness. You are the Christ, so in a sense here, Aquarius, you can go straight to God, go straight to the source, go straight to the genesis of your soul, Very interesting, Aquarius, that came up, and given, Jupiter being in your 12th house and what we just discussed here, you may be kind of like working during this time on like your head and heart connection. Specifically, where like you can maybe find like you are having like repressed emotions. Now, when I say repressed, meaning when we don't allow ourselves to have feelings in terms of them coming naturally, where we try and logically understand, where we don't allow them natural feelings to come up. So you may kind of be experiencing a lot of that right now and just not allowing emotions to flow. Also, Aquarius, a little line from a Little Wayne song came out. It's very interesting. It says, I ain't looking down, but I see no one above me. So that's really interesting. I'm gonna leave it at that. Also, lastly here, what came through psychically Aquarius is that the theme song for Family Guy, the adult a cartoon show, came through as well. Take that as it resonates, Aquarius, for you. Okay. All right. Let's go and hop here into your reading and your spread. All right, Aquarius. This month, I'm just really feeling like there's a lot of reviewing going on. Looking at the past, Aquarius, looking at who's there, who's not there, why are they there. Okay, I'm really getting and picking up here, Aquarius, that there's a lot going on, in terms of mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of the above, of you looking at or observing the reasons as to why, Aquarius, things have kind of transpired, right? How or why you have went through certain experiences, and it's kind of like I'm not going to say here that you're throwing a pity party for yourself. It's nothing like that. It's kind of like, of course, like you're kind of trying to understand, like, why is this happening to me, and why did this happen? Why am I in this predicament? Why am I in this situation? Whatever it may be for you this month, you're trying to understand the dynamics of it, right? And as humans, we tend to, of course, have that type of question, like, why is this happening to me, and what's going on? Like, why am I in this situation? How did it transpire? Now, in me saying all that for you, Aquarius, it seems as though like that confusion is there, and it's unsettling for you. I feel, for you to not maybe have an answer, or to have to come up with like a moment of clarity about whatever it is that you're experiencing this month. But I'm just really getting here, like, the dynamics have a lot to do, Aquarius, with like you having to, in a sense, like, where you're put in positions where you feel like because you had to defend yourself, or there's a need to defend your turf, or to stand guard over whatever that may be, or for whatever that may be, stand your ground. It makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable having the need, or finding yourself within that position, right? Where then it seems, of course, like when you do stand your ground, and when you do, defend yourself, let's say here, you then kind of like are left to be, in a sense, like, I don't say the bad guy, but you're left like unsatisfied or unfulfilled because of that. And then you kind of have to go within, right, to then figure out, like, why am I defending X, Y, and Z? Why am I, why, when I put my foot down on certain things that you hold dear to your heart, why is it that you end up feeling, Aquarius, or you find yourself being the individual who gets the shit end of the stick regarding having to feel that? Then you start to question yourself, Aquarius, regarding, like, well, what do I stand for? What these things that I'm defending, these things that I'm putting my foot down about, are they things of value? Are they things of are they practical? Are they affecting me favorably or unfavorably? Like, you start to kind of dwell within that kind of mind frame, right? And I'm feeling, Aquarius, that, going back to what I just said a little bit ago, regarding that you find yourself having to want an answer or clarity about, why is this happening to me, and why am I in this predicament, right? That comes second, Aquarius, or let's say that comes last, because the first thing that should come before that, Aquarius, is, what is the situation, the circumstance, whatever it may be, what is it trying to show me about how I am operating? What is, in a sense, your God, your angels, what is the source trying to show me about how I feel about the situation, or my resonance with it, right? When we ask ourselves that question first, Aquarius, then why is this happening to me, and why am I here in this situation, then becomes very apparent. So let's kind of, sum this up here. But first, Aquarius, it's, what is this trying to show me? What is this situation, this circumstance, trying to show how I resonate with it? What is it trying to show me regarding my repressed emotions, how I feel about it? How am I having to compromise myself, or what does it say about myself regarding your resonance with this situation or circumstance? Then after that, the second question will then become, like I said, very, very apparent and very clear. Where you then don't even have to ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Because you kind of answered it by just shifting the perception of it, or the approach to circumstances and situations that you're going through right now, And I'm also feeling here too, of course, that like you may be feeling like there's stagnation right now, However, the enlightenment of what you're going through right now has come to fruition. It's come to your awareness now, regarding what it is that needs to change, or if anything does have to change, So I'm feeling, of course, that a lot of the energy where maybe you're kind of walking away from that right now, or you're experiencing a lot of that, right? Now, what I feel like this month has in store for you, or what you kind of like, walking into, let's say here, Aquarius, is like due to you kind of going through understanding what's going on, for you and why you're in certain situations. Through that process, of course, you might kind of like close yourself off, which is a little bit, which is a little bit understandable or necessary sometimes, until we find clarity or heal from situations. However, I feel like you may close yourself off, Aquarius, to understanding more deeply of who you are in terms of the people, places, and things that, were involved within these difficult circumstances and situations. You may close yourself off to like ever rekindling with them or it, or you may kind of, distance yourself, where then you may kind of have polarized thinking where it's like, well, it is what it is, and it is what it is, and it can never be what it's not, Of course, we never want to completely close ourselves off or become, let's say, so fixed to our belief systems, Now, in me saying that, Aquarius, absolutely, we must have belief systems, and that's what carries us through, and that's what healthy ego and our moral fiber and our moral compass is built off of, absolutely. However, of course, we don't want to be so fixed to our belief systems where then we limit ourselves and we close ourselves off to developing and understanding and transcending and learning and adopting new truth to our situations, in a sense where if we become so fixed to our belief systems, of course, we then close ourselves off to ever growing, or we make that process much difficult on ourselves, where then we exclude ourselves from obtaining new growth and obtaining new perspectives and new truth, which then may be exactly what is needed for you here this month, Aquarius, and moving forward. I'm just getting, Aquarius, here, like it's time to move forward with that, whatever that is. But in moving forward, of course, we must do it for ourselves, and we must do it for our own spiritual health, for our own well-being, and knowing that there's a purpose is being served here, that we're doing it for ourselves and for our own spiritual happiness and for our own spiritual sovereignty and for our own, direction and moving forward, so that then we can be the best that we can be. And then we then hold conviction regarding why we are doing the things that we are doing. And then we understand why we choose certain things and why it's important to always keep that at the fore of your mind regarding, of course, checking in with yourself and really asking yourself, am I doing X, Y, and Z, or making certain decisions because they're what's best for me and everyone else involved, Or are you doing it out of avoidance? Are you making these decisions from fear? Are you making these decisions from societal programming? I think you get the gist of what I'm saying here, Aquarius. I'm really just feeling like this month is going to be very important for you, Aquarius. Take all the time that you need, absolutely. However, don't close yourself off and limit not only yourself and your belief systems and your future growth, but let's not limit your potential relationships with new and existing people, places, and things. Interesting reading, Aquarius. Let's go ahead and pop out a card here, Aquarius, from the deck is called Divine Doors by Andres Ingracia. And let's see, let's get a message from your higher self. Let's say here, Aquarius. This is what this card's meant for. So the message from your higher self, Aquarius, is, let's see, one card, please. Okay. So it's Three of Cups, a toast to friendship in the afternoon sun. 3 cups is happiness. 3 cheers are done. Celebration is near. Very interesting, Aquarius. All right, that concludes your reading here, Aquarius, for September 2020. Any information you may need regarding services and of the such can all be found in the description box below. And other than that, hopefully we'll see you next month, Aquarius. And as always, God bless, Aquarius, and love and light.